Köszöntöm Önöket, titeket a Budapesti Nemzetközi Dokumentumfilmfesztiválon. Megyes Krisztina vagyok, én leszek a mostani beszélgetés moderátora. Az Újra együtt című film rendezőjével, Mira Jargillal fogok beszélgetni. Mira, hi. So nice to have you here, at least this online way, and hopefully you can visit us soon as the virus is over. But you said you've been part of BIDF before. You visited us.
Yes, exactly, and I really enjoyed the festival and all the films, and so yeah, I look forward to participating again, but hopefully when the virus is over, it's possible.
Well, hopefully next year you can just recap all the things that you missed this year. You just finished this film in 2020 and you premiered at CPH Docs, am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct. That was the national premiere, and then we had the international premiere at Hot Docs.
Oh, wow. And how long have you been working on this film? It seems like a very heavy work in 3 different locations, following for years that journey, basically.
Yeah, I worked on the film for more than 3 years. Yeah, so quite a while.
How did you start it? I mean, there is of course the refugee topic all around us for years and years now. But what made you to start a film upon this subject? How did you find these characters specifically?
Yeah. I met the mother, Anna, through a mutual friend. And he was a professor, he is a professor in refugee rights. And he helped her in her fight for family reunification. And he told me about her and her story. And that was how I met her. And he knew that I, as a director, is interested in changes and in decisive moments in people's lives, and also interested in characters with strong wills caught in very difficult life situations. And and Rana, she was in a very difficult situation. So yeah, that was how it started.
Which moment was it in her life? Was it just right after he arrived to Denmark, or she was already there for a while?
When I met her, she had lived in Denmark for a year, and as a doctor, she's a so-called convention refugee, and that means that you can apply for family reunification right away. So it was very odd for me, and also for the professor in refugee rights, that her case had been declined. So and when I met her, she had just had her case, you know, family. She was approved to get a family reunification. So I thought that my film should be about a family trying to be integrated again, and at that time she hadn't seen her two boys for 1 year, and that was a long time. But the story ended up taking a totally different direction, because it took even 1.5 years more before she could get reunited with her children. So to begin with, it was I thought that it was a totally different story and film.
So you've been expecting a bit lighter or happier turnout for the events, I assume?
Yes, exactly. So yeah, for me it's been really difficult to understand even the Danish system and how it works, and how refugees are being threatened. Yeah. So it's been really tough.
Yeah, that was really heartbreaking, even as for viewer, to go along this journey with her and with the kids and with the husband, to see this struggle that I was thinking that I can't even start to understand it. I mean, being in my position and being in our position, being so privileged that we don't have to face these kind of challenges, I can't even imagine how I could handle something tough as this situation is. And then she's just holding up and going forward, and that's amazing to see, while of course you feel like devastated for her and with them. And I was wondering that how could you manage to be on her side and not step in and help and try to solve all these issues with or for her? Did you have these kind of difficulties to be just the one who is watching, or did you actually interact in any way?
Yeah, I did interact everything I could. I was not just an observer. I also tried to help everything I could. And I think that I actually, in some way, I think I have been naive, because I thought that if you fight long enough and if you do whatever it takes, then anything can be possible. But we were just up against some very difficult systems that was so, like, yeah, it was really a Kafkaesque and very frustrating situation to be in. But I really admire her strength, and for me it also became a study of how you uphold your strength when you are so far away from everything that gives your life meaning, and also, but I think that she was pretty aware that if she lost hope and faith, then the children would be lost, totally lost. So they were very, very, very dependent on her ability to fight. Yeah. So yeah, but I'm really full of admiration for her. Yeah, both courage and yeah, the way that she was able to just keep fighting.
Yeah, it seems like she can't afford to lose hope, but the same goes for the husband, and the same goes actually for the older brother, who needs to be there for the little one, and also the little one has to stay strong, otherwise who's there for the older one? So like all of them are really stuck in their positions, which is like a drama all along, different type of drama, but they have very serious situations. Yeah. How did you manage to shoot 3 different locations at the same time? Were you doing like one after the other, or you had separate crews doing it at the same time?
Yeah, you know, in the beginning, I filmed I filmed Rana, and then actually, we had hoped that both her and I could go and visit the children, but then it was not possible for her to get a visa to visit them. And then we agreed that I should go there and to check up on them and see if they wanted to be filmed. So it was very sad that she could not go with me. But so I filmed her, and I filmed the children in Turkey, and then my husband, he's also a documentary filmmaker and also a producer, and he did the shootings with the father in Canada, and also he did also some shootings in Turkey while I was filming in Denmark, but I did all of the shootings with the mother. But yeah, we had to split up to be able to be both or all 3 places.
It must have been very difficult to be with the kids. Meanwhile, the mom couldn't go. So you've seen the kids before she could actually do.
Yeah, but and it felt really wrong that I could go and she couldn't as a mother, and because I have a passport that allows me to go wherever I want. But I think that in somehow it was comforting for her to know that I could go there and be a witness, and also she could see the shootings that I have done, and she could see of course, she could see the sadness and the tragedy, but it was also, I think, comforting for her to also see that they were holding up, because there is no doubt that they are two boys who was like, you know, they've had a really good childhood and a lot of love, and that was what I think made them survive all of this horrible situation. Yeah.
That was already shocking to see in the film that even though they are under 18, they were being alone. It's like there is no such system that support them, put them with the foster parents, or like having them, you know, any guidance to not to be alone. Because even when you're 17, you are still a kid, even like in extra hustle around you, and you're traumatized already. So you need extra help.
Exactly, and that's also what really shocked me, that they didn't speed up the process, and also but I think this is the consequences for a lot of families and a lot of refugees around the world. So for me, it was also very important to tell the story, and also to provide insight into the consequences of the policies in Europe that create stereotypes and divide human beings. So for me, it was very important to shed a light on a family, family's destiny. And my hope is to provide the debate with the human perspective. And my ambition with the film is also to show the human face behind the journal number. And also that next time we vote for a new government, that we will have this family in mind and similar families in mind. Because I think that it should be a human right for parents to be with their children. That's it.
Yeah, and also kids should grow up in an environment that is mentally and physically safe for them, and the mentally is also very important. Not
Exactly.
Just the actual danger has gone, but they are still being in danger in a different way. I was really enjoying those segments that you used, these video messages that they shared sometimes, not only the phone calls, but these messages. Was it your idea, or they were doing it anyways to have these kind of special interactions between them?
Yeah, I got the idea because they were doing it, and then I asked if I could have the material, and also encourage them to do more of these. So the idea came because it was natural for them, but then I encouraged them to do more of them, because sometimes the internet was bad, and also sometimes when you have like phone calls, then you talk about not the deeper thoughts that you have, because you're so there was a way to go deeper into their thoughts and mindset.
Can you tell me a little bit about your working methods? Like how do you direct them? If you direct them, do you lead them in a way? You discuss what you would like to achieve, or you just wait and let the events unfold themselves? Or what is your approach on that?
My method is very much to spend a lot of time with the people that I film, and also without camera. For me, it's very important to see if there's a difference in them when I film and when I'm not filming, and also very important for me to get them to know them, and also for them to get to know me, so they feel safe and calm, and that they feel that they can trust me. And for me, it's also always very interesting for me to hear about their motives of why they want to be in a film, because then it's also easier for me to be honest about if it's something that I can live up to, and also very to know if there is anything around that we need to discuss. So I think, and then I'm just, another method is that I am I'm always available to them, because I think making film about people, and especially if you choose to make a film about people in very vulnerable situations, it's a big responsibility, and you have to be careful, and to be able to lift that possibility, because you never know in what directions a film will take, and for me it's very important for them to know that I will be there no matter what, and also that they have the right to say no more.
Often when you get so close to your characters, the people you work with, then it's a problematic part when you get to the end of the film, and then you have to somehow go along with your own life, and then yet you cannot, of course, stop the interaction with them, because that's not the film, that's your life or part of your life already. How is it now for you? Do you keep in touch with them? Do you there for them even though you finish shooting?
Yeah, I keep in touch with them, and we check up on each other pretty often, and because it's important for me to that's just important for me, but it's always difficult when you end a film, because then it's then I'm working on another film, and I'm filled up with that, but I will say, on the other hand, I think that having me as a director is also very intense for them. so I know that they are happy with the film and happy with me, but it's also intense. So I think they're also happy that it's over. So maybe, yeah. So that helps me, to think. I think, I think they're actually okay with it. With me not coming with my camera all the time.
Was it you who filmed them, or you had a small crew around you, or because it's very intimate, you can be there with them, feel that, as it feels like almost like there is a friend next to her, and that's it. So she can be very, I always say she, but the same goes, of course, for the husband and for the kids, but they can be very relaxed around you. How big crew you had to make them comfortable with?
Yeah, I'm doing all the shootings myself. So I film and do sound and everything, and for me, being with her was like being with a friend. And also, for me, being with the children was like being with my children. And for me, it's just really important that they feel comfortable with me around them, and that I feel comfortable, of course, being around them. And while my husband did the shootings with the father, Mukhlis, in Canada, and they lived in his one room apartment, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to be this intimate with him. So, and I knew that he would be more comfortable. I assumed that he would be more comfortable with my husband being around than me. So that was how it was made.
That's a very nice collaboration that you figured there. And how is it now? Because the film ends with half success because mother and kids are reunited, but still it's really a very heavy feeling to watch the man just left alone, and he has to be happy for the family, but still his case is not solved in anyhow. How's it now?
Yeah, yes, he's still living in Canada, but his papers got in order like a year ago, and 1 week after he got a visa and was able to visit Rana and the children here in Denmark. So he stayed for 1 month, and then and then when everything, as Rana said, everything almost came back to normal, he had to go back to Canada again. And then we had applied for a visa for him to come and stay for 1 month again during the premiere of the film, but then everything got locked down because of Corona or COVID-19, yeah, unfortunately, he's still stuck in Canada, but it's still, I think they still don't know if they will be able to reunite as a family, all of them, one day. The thing is that he is providing and taking care of his whole family in Syria, and the thing is that if he comes to Denmark, maybe he will not be able to get a job and be able to send money. So it's a difficult situation.
Yeah. You mention in the titles at the end of your film that if it seems to be a struggling way to reunite with the family, then it became even harder, if I understood well, like the system has changed for a more strict policy. Yeah. Why is that so?
Yeah, that is because of our government, that they don't want more refugees here. Yeah, so that is a political decision, that to make it harder, it will be less attractive for foreigners to come here. I think that's really sad, of course.
Do you see the film as a tool for kind of for starting this debate or reinforcing this statement that it should be changed in a way, or even Rana is doing something with the situation that she's in, or helping the others in similar situations, or reflecting on what they had to go through?
Yeah, I see this film as a political film, because if you as a viewer see the film and you feel and you get emotionally involved, and you can identify with the family, then I hope that you will think about it the next time you vote, and you will have that we will think about families in these situations and be more humane when we take political decisions. And also because I think that she and the kids, they are like really good for our society. I mean, she's really well educated, and in Denmark we need more doctors, and also the children, they are like studying really hard, and they are totally integrated now, and they learned Danish in 2 months, and now they actually, and they are just so what do you call it, grateful to be here, and they want to do good. So I think that we should just be happy that we have them here.
You just mentioned before that you're working on your new film. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Is it similar territory, or you switched a bit?
It's very different. I'm working actually on two films. One of the films is a film about my father. He's also a documentary filmmaker. So I grew up with the camera, and he has filmed like thousands of footage his whole life. And he's like, he always have had a camera in his hand and filmed everything. And I really hated it all my life. And now he's old, and he gave me all the material. And we have a bit of difficult relationship. So it's also, in a way, my way of trying to get to know him, to do this film. And so yeah, and the other film, it's about a monk, a Danish doctor who decided to be a monk in Sri Lanka, a forest monk, and then he left his son and family and everything behind, and in Denmark, and lived in a mountain in the middle of nowhere for 17 years. But it's also, it's a film about a big mystery. So, but I can't really say anything else about that. So it's different films, but it's also films about, the big questions in life and big existential questions.
Yeah, that's three very different topics for sure.
Yeah.
What attracts you in a topic? Like what is your turning point when you see like, I want to make a film about this? Because these are definitely not the topic, now we can see that, but something has to be common, I guess.
Yeah, I'm very much interested in human relations, in the close human relations, and families, and the intimacy. What you say? Intimacy in families, and also the difficulties of being a family. And also, then I'm, as a director, always interested in changes and also in decisive moments in people's lives. And I'm interested in characters with strong wills, and characters that are caught in difficult life situations.
Okay, I have a last question for you.
Yeah.
Is because you make a film, you give something to the viewers. In optimistic, good cases, you give something to your characters as well. And in a very good case, you also get something out of the film. And I would like to know what you get out of this film, or what did you gain through it?
That's a good question. A lot of things. A lot of things. Let me think. First of all, I got a really good friend in Rana. And second, I was also challenged in my own. I think we are all filled with some kind of prejudice, but meeting her and her family really made me realize that we are not that different from each other, and that it's really when Mukles sent me the home footage, the video recordings from back in the days, that really touched me, because that made me realize that they were really just a family like the family that I have, and they had all these hopes for the future, and it's just we were like really much alike, and then from one moment to another, everything was just crashed, and that also made her realize that nothing makes sense. You know, it doesn't matter if you're about as money and houses and everything. Doesn't matter if you're far away from the people that you love. So yeah, I think I learned a lot of things. And also, but the worst thing that I learned was also that our system is really crappy here in Denmark, and that that these films are so really important, and it's important that we keep curious towards one another, so we don't create stereotypes.
Great. Thank you so much for your time today, and thank you so much for your film. It was really nice to watch, and I really wish you a beautiful festival circuit with it in the future.
Thank you. Thank you
Hopefully
so much for having
not
me.
online, but soonish.
Yeah. We'll see.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Köszönjük, hogy velünk tartottak. Hogyha látták már a filmet, akkor remélhetőleg sok izgalmas háttérinformációt is megtudtak most róla. Ha pedig még nem, akkor remélhetőleg kedvet csináltunk hozzá. A filmet is, illetve a beszélgetést is március 10-ig megtekinthetik a BIDF-nek az oldalán. Köszönöm szépen a figyelmet!